So I was wondering why uh, I was wondering about the way we live and how we choose to live and why some things has to be so roundabout and indirect while what like how we breathe is actually very direct. We just breathe in the air. It's always there when we need it. But then when you look at other aspects of our lives, there's some sort of indirectness, some sort of like roundaboutness that doesn't seem to actually work for our favor. And it's sort of, I think, creates a sort of entanglement that actually traps us in situations that are not to our benefit. And like, I think like most of the problems we have in the world today stems from this idea that the air we breathe is directly comes in through our noses and we just breathe the air, but then why the rest of the things has to be, so indirect and roundabout, and which is very strange, like why we have to live that way, why we can't just be, um, direct and flow openly and not, and there is no such thing as just because somebody is indirect or roundabout something doesn't make it less direct. I guess it still finds a way, but it's kind of like an unnecessary, it creates an unnecessary workload on us, and it just creates some sort of entanglement which overcomplicates things in life for everybody, for all of us. And which, like we see its reflections in our lifestyle and choices and how we live and the way we think. It's like we lose ability to actually, have a life that is actually, you know, just we are stuck in these situations constantly. And just if we can just like entangle these odd situations, entangle these roundaboutness, and maybe if you like create this like, if you think of it as like a vein, and if you let that flow happen, and the amount of nourishment we'll have would be incredible, I think. The amount of growth we'll achieve would be immense. And it's, I think, like this circulation problem creates, because we are part of the nature, we are part of the world as human beings, or whatever you want to call it, whatever we are, but we are part of this system, and we have a part to play in this place. We all have a certain function, and I think the state of being unaligned causes more entanglement and more entrapment, and just kind of cuts the circulation, which causes um, drought. Like we the earth becomes a drier place where nothing grows and flourishes, and there was this, I took a note about abstraction where it said abstraction where we wait, I need to find it. So the meaning of abstract is freedom from representational qualities in art. I think sometimes I think there is freedom in being abstract because too much representation, when we try to dress something too much, we lose the charm of being naked. And it kind of, and in naked, I don't mean by being actually naked, but seeing things as they are instead of trying to dress them in certain ways, instead of, cover them up with whatever we want to cover it up with. And that's sort of like nudity is actually very necessary for us to be more direct in a conceptual way. Like breathing, when you breathe, you just breathe. And that's how things are supposed to be. And it causes, like, this is very fundamental for life, breathing. And then after you breathe, like when you start doing things, when you want things to be roundabout and indirect for others or other people, and it causes some sort of entanglement, and it actually stops the circulation, and then it actually, that reflects itself, manifests itself in parts of nature that actually starts destroying nature too that way, because we are part of the process that is ongoing in whatever is going on in here. And it's part of the problem that, like, if things can be as direct as inhaling and exhaling, then it causes a lot of other problems to arise, entanglements which stop circulation from happening. And like I said, it causes drought because of improper circulation. So it's something that we should consider while we set up our lives, our economic systems, or our choices in life, what we want, like how we behave, and not like interrupt things and not try to control everything. Like, of course, we need to have some sort of um, control over certain aspects of our lives, but too much of it, too much interruption that extends over beyond our like bubble of our lives and reaches towards other people's boundaries, then 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 that's where like big problems starts to happen because we're actually, I say we, it's not because I do it, but because it's like a human condition and we can all learn from this. It's just kind of, it's kind of like, I don't know, something has to do with the mechanics of how things go about in this world and how things happen. And we need to be more conscious about flow of life, and we need to avoid things being stagnant and obstructive to our, to our way of life, to like to nature happening, but in the most beautiful way possible, not in a rotten and disturbing way, but in a meaningful, inspiring, and expanding, enriching way. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about today.